More like Starfox Zero difficulty. Oh! But let's not really focus on that thing till later. And let's take on this review in a slightly different way due to the reveal at the end. As all the big companies that have had the game early, like Polygon, Game Explain, etc., have got their footage up all over YouTube to promote this game. And the response from the comments was interesting, with the main gist of all of them being along the lines of, "Oh my god, this looks pretty bad, it's just like Starfox." What? Even my friend Photon is like, "It looks too much like Starfox." What are you talking about, Photon? You like Starfox? Yeah, I do, and this just looks like a remake. But that's what you wanted, is it not? No, everyone was expecting something different that is not this. So you mean you like adventures and you wanted another Adventures? No, Adventures sucked. Well, what is it, hon? You can't have it both ways. You either want a new Star Fox game that is like the original Star Fox, flying around and shit, or a mostly land-based adventure like Star Fox Adventures. And all the comments on YouTube are like that. So what am I missing here? The majority hates Adventures, even though I thought it was pretty good. And what's a normal Star Fox game, but does not look like this one that is a normal Star Fox? Well, with it being close to coming out, my store had got their shipment in, ready to sort out all their shelves for all the new games coming out this month. They even had the new Ratchet & Clank in the back, which I picked up. So, I got my friend to sneak me a copy of this and Ratchet & Clank. So let's see if we cannot figure out what everyone is crying about from footage alone. So, I turned the game on, and after it installs, I'm welcomed to some really nice, high-quality Star Fox music, which does persist through the game. So, all the music is great and gets a pass. Upon pressing new game, I'm greeted by the intro, which, regardless of what Nintendo says, is the Star Fox 64 intro. Look, even Polygon here had all three, that being this one, the N64 one, and the 3DS one, all on the same screen at the same time for comparison. So, don't let Nintendo bullshit you. This is a remake, regardless of what they say. But fine, whatever. I mean, it's more Star Fox, and I'm all over that. So after the intro, we get into the game. And it looks pretty damn nice. The graphics are what you would expect for an up-to-date Star Fox game, as is the music, with everything controlling really nicely. Like when you turn from a ship to a walker and back again, it feels very smooth and natural, and they have worked it well into the gameplay, with the gameplay itself being what you would expect from Star Fox 64. You're flying around, shooting things, there is a health meter for your ship, and you have a limited stock of super bombs to use when things get tricky, with the objective being whatever the game tells you, while flying through the silver rings and trying to find, but most of the time failing, to fly through the hidden gold rings in order to complete the level. And while I will be coming back to the gold rings and some of their nonsense, I'll save it for now, as it's going to tie in better in a moment, as I'm going to go through what is wrong with Star Fox Zero. First off, the really horrid animation and no voice acting. Like with the other Star Fox games, while you're flying around, others will talk to you, and when they do, it's quite bad. I mean, look at this. They all look like dead puppets flapping their mouths. Like there's an arm inside of them just opening and closing the mouths. Are these real creatures or Muppets? And you're going to notice it a lot more because there is no voice acting. I mean, why? Adventures had voice acting. Sure, it was not great, but it was still there. And the intro to this game has Star Fox himself narrating it.
The name's Foucs. Foucs McCloud. I'm the leader of Starfox, an elite fighter squadron established by ex-Cornerian flying ace James McCloud, my father.
So why not the rest of the game? And as I said, if you were there and you were just flying around, not looking at the boxes, and they had voice acting, you wouldn't have to look at the boxes because you just match the voices to the characters. But because there is no voice acting, your eyes are drawn to that box and you notice the crappy face animation. Never mind, extra line, I have just been informed by my friend Midnight. There is voice acting in the game, but it's on the gamepad, so if you don't switch the gamepad up, then you're not going to hear it. And I never switched the gamepad up, because like in Splatoon, all the gamepad does is make annoying voices. You know, you're in Splatoon trying to do something, and you just hear them from like the gamepad. I don't want to hear that. Shigeru, what are you playing at? Why don't you just make the voices come out of the TV? You made me look a fool now. Ridiculous. But yes, the voice acting is okay. Made me a fool, Shigeru. Second off is the gold rings, which are hidden throughout the levels, sometimes very well, which is both a good and a bad thing. The bad part is you're never going to get a perfect run the first time you play through it. So every level is very trial and error, throwing super bombs everywhere in order to find where the rings are. And if you do find them, chances are it's too late and you can't turn into them. So it's going to require multiple run-throughs of the stage. I would rather fail due to my own incompetence and failure to reach it in time, rather than revealing it too late to get it. But it does make the replay value go up a bit if you're going to go for the 100% completion. So good and bad. But overall, it's a great game and I'm having fun with it. But if that's the case, why am I still doubting myself? Despite the enjoyment I'm getting out of this game, why in my head am I still saying, this sucks? I just can't put my finger on it. I've played it for hours. I've rewatched the footage of others over and over, trying to figure it out. Then, it was when I was watching the Fortuna footage again, trying to figure it out, it hit me. Why all the comments were saying it's too much like Starfox. Why people did not like the fact that it was too much like Starfox. Because it is. Allow me to explain. Everything moves too slow, so it feels off. Like, look at the gameplay from the Game Explains Fortuna footage. You're in a spaceship and you're going fast, but there is no real danger. It's more like you're on a haunted house roller coaster with a few set pieces jumping out at you, but no real danger. Like, look at these bits of tree that are coming towards you. The speed you're supposed to be flying in your spaceship should mean that those things should be flying at you pretty fast. But no, they're slowly ebbing towards you. Watch out! They might hit you! Whoa! Whoa! Whew. That was pretty close, wasn't it? You could feel the tension of how quickly those trees were moving towards you as the carnival man counts the money he's just took off of you. Then I played more of my game, and here I am in this section, flying towards this robot. Oh man, that laser from that thing's charging up. Here it comes! Here it comes! Oh, phew! That was close. I could have died from the speed that laser was going. Or, last one, this robot. Don't let it get into that portal. But, oh no! Look at how very, 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 very slightly it's moving every other second. There is no real way I can do it in time, can I? So, cutting the sarcasm, from this, you can tell that it moves just way too slow. And with that, I realised why everyone is saying it's too much like Star Fox 64. Because it is. The overall feel in general, while very nicely animated and controls very well, the overall movement speed feels like Starfox 64. So slow, which back in them days was understandable as it could not handle it. But with all the faster processors and stuff in the Wii U, you would think that they would up the speed a bit. And so, while it's still a very well made and very fun game to play, it feels very outdated. Like, this could have easily been on the Wii, or even the GameCube if the graphics were a little lower. Oh, and as for Star Fox Zero difficulty mode, it's completely fine, and everybody should stop complaining about it. It works for its purpose, and if you don't want to put on a diaper and play in literal baby mode, then don't, honey. So, my final verdict for Star Fox Zero is a pretty good 3 out of 5. For any newcomers to the Star Fox series, this is a great entry in the series to start with, as it eases you into the gameplay in the first few levels and gradually increases the difficulty at a perfect pace as the levels go on, which there are a lot of them. And if you're new and not that confident, then you can always start with Zero difficulty mode and run through the first few levels a few times till you get the controls down and you're confident enough to switch the invincibility off, as you can toggle it on and off at any time. And there's nothing wrong with that, as it makes it more inclusive for the newcomers. As for the returning Star Fox fans, then you are still going to enjoy it. Yes, it is a remake, and you are going to be going through mostly the same levels like Corneria and Venom. However, there is enough new content and new mechanics like the Walker to make it feel fresh and worth playing. And you will have a pretty decent challenge trying to get all of the gold rings for 100%. And while there is a completion bonus, well, I won't spoil it, but it's not really worth it. If you have the Falco amiibo, then you know what I mean. See Midnight and Photon? Nintendo is learning. They're not that scummy to lock content behind an amiibo paywall. Most of the time. Oh, Spyro! You forgot to talk about Star Fox Guard! Oh, you're funny. But if you really need to know, Five Nights at Slippy's. This is not where you wanna be. Five Nights at Slippy's. Checking the cameras, oh why do you wanna play Five Nights at Slippy's? This is just a cheap cash-in for Scott to notice me, because my body is ready for Five Nights at Slippy's.